Good morning, everyone. It's Tammy, and I'm going to show you this Peekaboo card today and how to make it. It is so cute. I can't even believe it. So I have it this way, and then watch when I open it up. Oh my goodness! Isn't that adorable? It is so crazy. I'm loving it. And I just wrote this with, I hand lettered that. So, and this is actually just cardstock that I die cut out and put it here. So you guys can do the same thing. And I'm going to do the same thing in the card that I demo for you guys. It is a little bit weird in that this is open. So like when you give it to somebody, it will be like this. But it needs to stay open because you can't tape it together for this mechanism to work. And I hadn't figured out a way to keep it closed without, I just can't figure out anything that I could do because if I taped it anywhere, it would either be stuck open or stuck closed. And I don't want it to be either. I want it to be able to move freely. So let's go ahead and do this card. And this is kind of how it looks this way and that way, just so you can see. And then this kind of even flaps over like that. So there's three different pieces of card. You have a front, inside, and then a back. So let's go ahead and get started. And then I have some ribbon on here, and I have some pattern paper that I got from Michael's. I thought that was just really cute on this card. So I have 3 pieces of paper in my ribbon for this. And I thought this was really cute. I'm actually going to send this to my son in college. Here is dinosaur paper that came from Stampin' Up. And then I need a color for the inside. I probably should have picked white for this one. Let me just get some white. I wonder if I have any over here. Nope. So let me get white for the inside. And you're going to need 2 pieces. And I think that this will work for both. It's not quite a full sheet, but I think I can make that work. So you need this for the inside, and then you'll need your card base or the card front and the back, which will be this. So you don't do a whole base, you're doing a front and a back, and inside, and then this is just my decoration on the top. And then you also need, do I have it out? Yes, I do. My 2-inch hole punch. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to cut the base, the front, let's call it that. I need this cut at 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. I'm just checking my measurements just to make sure I'm right. 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. So this is 8 1/2, so I'm going to go 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. So that just means I need to cut a 1/4 inch off. And then I need to score it at 5 1/2. And I know that all of that seems very weird, but trust me. Because that doesn't look like it's going to be a card front, but it is. So that's fine. So you got the card front. Now you're going to do the card back. And you want this to be cut at 4 1/4 by 5 3/4. So I'm just going to go here and go 4 1/4 by 5 3/4. I'm keeping all my little scraps, at least for now. And then the only score line you need on this one is a 1/4 inch score line from one side. Again, I know that's very strange, but it works. So I have that one done. Now I'm going to move to the inside. And the inside I want 8 1/4. Oh, I don't know if I can do that, can I? Oh, sure I can. So I want 8 1/4 by, where's my inside? 8 1/4 by 4 1/4. So this is the same size as the front, but 8 1/4 by 4 1/4. Yeah, I think I could just do it that way because this is 8.5, isn't it? Yeah, cool. Okay. It's just weird when it wasn't a full-size card or piece of cardstock. I was like, wait a minute. So let me just double check. 4 1/4. Yes, okay. And I want to score this one at 4 1/4. So this one's scored at 4 1/4. I'm just double checking my measurements. Yeah, it's 8.5 by 4 1/4. I thought that's what it was because I thought that this was a totally halfway card. No, I changed it. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay, so that's good. That's fine. And then for my card front, I want this to be 4 by 5 1/4, and I want the 5 1/4 to be the long side. And 4 inches. And I got, okay, I think I told you this. I got that from Stampin' Up! This. And if there's a cute dinosaur in here that you can save, and there's a couple, I'm going to save this and I'm going to fussy cut those too. And those are going to go on my card, and I'll show you all that here in just a second too. Okay, so now I have this, this, and this, and then I have this. The first thing you want to do is on the front of the card, which is going to be this way with the score line toward the left, and you can go ahead and score that or burnish that. So that's going to go to the left, and the fold is going to go in the back. This is where you want to punch your hole. You can do it wherever you want on this page. Just be careful to know that you want to have at least a little bit of a border around the punch. You can do it at the top, you can do it at the bottom. I kind of like it where I did it on the last card, which was kind of toward the bottom. So I'm just going to take it and put it in here, making sure I have a little bit on each side and on the bottom. I'm just going to punch that little hole. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the card front because I want to just put it in place. So what I'm going to do is, why did I do that? I'm going to put this where I want it. Like that. And then I'm going to turn it over. And then I'm going to take my pencil, which I should have handy. Where are you, pencil? I should have my pencil in my eraser. Oh, it's right here. I keep them handy because I use them. So I'm going to take my pencil and just draw a circle where I need my punch. Then I can go ahead and punch this out. Then I can forget about this piece for a little minute while I build the card. Okay, so now I'm putting that to the side with the ribbon. Forget about that for a minute. So now what you want to do is fold your inside, and you want the short end to be in the back. And you want this to line up with that. And I guess I should say that you want to make sure that this is over enough, at least 1/4 inch, because you want to make sure that you are punching a full hole into both of those pages. So now what I'm going to do is take my handy dandy pencil . And with this folded, I'm going to cut my pencil out, my circle out. just like that. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to take my back piece where I have my score line. I'm going to go ahead and fold that and burnish that in. This needs to attach to this, like that. I'm going to use, I think, a strong adhesive just because I want to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. Because this is an interactive card, and I know I say this on other interactive cards, but the interactive cards, I think people play with more. At least I hope they do. I know that I do. So I want to make sure that it has something strong to hold it. This is wider than my little edge, so I'm just going to fold this over. So again, with my edge right up against, my paper right up against the edge of this. Like that. Oh no. Somehow I'm a little long on this. I'm going to cut this 1/4 of an inch smaller. I don't know what I did, but I must have measured something wrong, which is not unusual for me in these cards sometimes. So you want them all to fit together. So this is going to fit inside of here, which is going to fit inside of there. And you can kind of see it working. Yeah, okay. So now I want to attach my card front to the inside. So I have this on there. So always check. I think that's a smart thing anyway when you're building a card. That's a good tip. I'm going to use the strong adhesive again. I'm going to put some here. Some here. And some here. So I can put adhesive all around the inside front. And this is going to attach to the front of my card. So I'm just going to carefully adhere this to the front by matching it up on all sides, just like that. So now the only part left is to take this and push it, and that's not the only part, but to complete the actual card base, you want to push that in like that. So now you can see this is, well, you can't hardly see, but you can see how that covers and goes on the inside there, like that. You know what? That's what I did. When I cut this 1/4 of an inch small, that's where I messed up. I don't want the inside to be 1/4 of an inch small. I don't. I lied to you with that. What I might want to be 1/4 of an inch smaller is this panel. That's what I had to cut the last time. So I'm sorry, that's where I screwed up. I cut this, I cut the inside, I didn't cut, it wasn't 8 1/2. I cut it down to 8 1/4. I want that to be 8 1/2. Here are my little notes. So the inside I want to be 8 1/2. So I will put it, the correct one in the measurements below. There we go. And then what you need to do is take a piece of white paper or whatever color your inside is, and I want it to be at least 2 inches. I want it to cover the hole, so I want it to be at least 2 inches by 2 inches, but I'm going to go, I don't know, I'm going to go 3.5 by 3. Because you can't have it, well, you can't have it too big, but you want it to be bigger than this hole. And then this is going to get stuck onto the bottom of this page. So it will be like this. And let me just make sure, and when you're doing this, check it, make sure that it works. Because if you don't have your paper big enough, when you're doing the folding mechanism, you could make it, if you, like, if I didn't have this big enough, it could be so that you didn't cover the whole thing, or it could even be where it gets caught when you're doing the mechanism and it doesn't want to push in. So you need to make sure that it's at least big enough that it goes over this side, but you don't want to glue it on this side. But that's where I was going with that. You want to make sure that it's big enough so that this is already underneath it, because if it wasn't, and you started out here, it would sometimes get hooked onto that and not want to move. And I'm sticking that to this part. So this gets stuck to the back. And I'm just going to make this, I'm just gonna call it this size and put it on here. I'm adding it. And then you want Whisper White at, what did I do, 2.5 by 3? I think that's what I did. Let me measure it again. Just get out of measure. It's harder to see it that way. No, 3.5 by 3. Oh, well, pardon me. I totally screwed that up. 3.5 by 3. And I'm going to just put that with the inside. Same color. All right, sorry, I need to make sure my notes are good so that I can, when I type up the directions, you guys will know. So that goes on the back. Oops, did I make it so I can't fold it? No, I didn't. Okay. Oh, yes, I did. Good grief. I got it too close to the score line. Don't do what I do. Do what I said. There we go. Okay, so now watch. When I open this, it's white and then it's green. So what I'm going to do is put my card front on here. Just because that makes me happy. And then I'm going to take my handy dandy pencil and I'm going to lightly draw a circle around here. And I know that that's where I can write. So I'm going to open my card to dissect it. And I'm going to put roar means I love you. And so I'm just going to write it in pencil first. Put that pretty big. And then I'm going to put dinosaur 4. I love you. And I'm going to look at it. Yeah, I think that's cute. And now I'm going to pick out my colors, whatever colors I want to use. I'm going to use my Pitt pens or something permanent just because I like that. I have paint over pens. That might be cute to do the roar in. Because that's paint, I won't erase over it, but I am going to erase my line, and so I'll try to be careful to erase my circle line. And I know I've done this tip, but I love white eraser. It is the best to erase really well and smooth and clean. And I even got some paint over there, so I'm just trying to get that off a little bit. I have glitter on this from a card I did previously. And then I think I'm just going to do in black. Oh, or I have this color. That's pretty. And it matches that dinosaur. I'm gonna kind of just let it dry for a second and then I'll erase underneath that yellow-green color. I might even take the yellow-green color and go around the circle. I think that might be cute. There we go. Doesn't feel like it's on there. I guess it is. I'm going to go ahead and take this ribbon, and I want it to just go in the front, and it can only go to here because that's where the inside fold line is, so that's where we'll put it. And I'm going to have a little knot up here at the top. Goodness gracious. I love this ruched ribbon. It's kind of funny how it ended up. There we go. Maybe I'll make this one a little smaller. Okay, now I need to do something for the inside of here, and this is where I was going to put a couple little dinosaurs. And since these two are asking to be cut out, since they stayed whole in this little scrap that I had, I could cut it out from the other piece if I wanted to, but why not use this one? And it's kind of cute that it's the same colors that I used of ink. I didn't even notice that until now. So I'm just fussy cutting them with some white edge. And then I will put them down here. However, something like that. So I'll put the pink one down first. And I'm just going to glue it. And you don't want anything that sticks up high in here, so I wouldn't put anything on a dimensional or any of that. And I would even kind of think that most of the time your sentiment would end up in here, but for whatever reason I thought this looked better with the sentiment on the other side. Put him here because I want his whole tail to show. So there we go. Roar, dinosaur 4, I love you. Then you open it up and there's dinosaurs. I think that is adorable. I think my son will like it too. Very cute. Okay, well that's how you do it. So I hope you guys try it. I hope you guys like it as much as I do. And have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.